What's up, PokeMoshPit? NBZ here, bringing you a 5th gen match. This one is against a guy called John from Averious Asylum. I guess I was just looking around for a match and I was testing out a team that I've been using lately. Kind of playing on the same trick that I was using in a match I uploaded here a while ago, using Gorbis to batten past shell breaks, 2 specific pokes, and I've kind of added a couple of people, shuffled people about, and let's see how this goes down. So first of all, just looking at his team, I see that he is using 3 pokes that are Uber, were Uber in the 4th gen. So he's got the Garchomp, Latios, and the Mew, and they're all going to be kind of big threats to my team. I'm not carrying any sort of 4th gen Ubers, as it were, but I'm going to have to watch out for those guys. He does have a speed boost Blaziken, I'm assuming it's speed boost anyway, and that's going to be something that's going to be a threat if I don't take it out early. Natore obviously is something that's very wally and hard to take out, and then you have Rapushin, who generally is a bulky poke. So he's carrying a generally bulky-ish team. Couple of fast guys in Chomp, Blaziken, and Latios in general is just pretty difficult to take down. So without further ado, let's get straight into the match. Okay, so I believe that seeing as he had Garchomp in first, he's going to be leading off with it. I'm going to lead off with my Victini. It's one of my favourite leads in 5th gen, has access to Will-O-Wisp, which is going to be very useful against Garchomp. Unfortunately for me, I believe he's going to be Scarfed or faster than me in some way, so I don't want to go for the Will-O-Wisp straight off the bat. I'm going to go for the safe switch, go to my Weezing, which will be able to dodge the predicted Earthquake, and he does go for it, which is fine. Now, thinking that he is Scarfed, I'm thinking he'll probably switch, but in any case I'm going to go for the safe Will-O-Wisp. If he does decide to stay in and Stone Edge or something, it's not going to do a lot to Weezing. I can probably pain split the damage off later if it did do a crit or something, but the Will-O-Wisp is going to be invaluable to me, so I'm going to go straight for it. He does switch to Natore, so getting a Will-O-Wisp from Natore is always good. It means that his Power Whip is greatly reduced in power. Nicely said there. Anyway, and we're going to go for a Flamethrower here because I do carry the Flamethrower over the other move. So, Stealth Rock's going to happen. I go for the Clear Smog here, not really sure why I stayed in. I potentially was predicting a agility or a nasty plot set, but not many people are running those these days. A lot of people are running Trick Scarf or Transform or Stealth Rock, which I believe this is what this guy is running. Not the Trick, but the Transform is something that I'm looking for. Now he is going to go for the Taunt as I go to my Goat. I thought that he was going to transform at that point, which is kind of why I went to the Goat, because I had Gengar to go to and probably revenge kill that thing easily. But for now, he's going to go for the soft boiled. Interesting move there. I guess it's good recovery and Mew does get access to it. But I'm going to go for the Iron Head, a stab hit, and see how much it does. It's going to get a crit on the Mew, which is unfortunate for him. However, it doesn't really matter because he is faster and is able to get a soft boiled up. Now I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, hoping for another crit. Doesn't happen. And at this point, I believe that he's going to go for a Taunt again, seeing as it wore off last turn. Just in case he doesn't, I go for the sub, and unfortunately it doesn't quite work out there. But I'm predicting him to transform on this turn. I know that he hasn't transformed yet, but I thought that he would here because he knows I can't do anything to him and was predicting an Iron Head or a Stone Edge, which he resists. However, predicting the transform, I actually go for the close combat, which is really, really awesome. It allows me to take him almost out, and now I'm predicting the close combat from that Goat, and I don't want to risk a speed tie or anything, so I'm going to go straight to Gengar to dodge the predicted close combat, and because I am Scarfed, I'm going to outspeed this Goat regardless, and I'm going to get a Hidden Power Fire off. Hopefully he doesn't go into Latios, because that would be a huge pain in my ass, but the HP Fire is going to take him out from this range anyway, and that's excellent for me. Means that I get rid of his Mew early. Mew is a real pain in 5th gen. So many sets, so many varieties. You can go Trick, you can go Transform, you can do Rocks, everything, just literally everything. So here we go. Latios is going to come in, very annoying poke. I'm going to have to switch out here. Obviously I'm locked in with the Choice Scarf on the Hidden Power Fire. I don't really have much to go to. I think I go to this guy just as a kind of fodder in a way. I don't see him being that useful in the long run. And that Psychic actually is a one-hit KO on the Goat, so I'm kind of thinking that this is potentially a Specs Latios. I think I would have lived just a Scarfed hit, so that's why my suspicions are aroused and I believe he is Specs. I'm going to go into Victini regardless because it's going to resist the Psychic, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. Perhaps he's going to stay in, but he does predict the Will-O-Wisp and go opposed to his Notori. However, at this point, Notori can't do anything to me. I am going to outspeed him, and I do have Stab Fire Blast, which is 4 times effective, so it's going to take him out. He may switch here, so I always have that in the back of my mind as to whether I want to go for a Thunder or a Psychic, predicting that. But he does go for the Protect, just to kind of scout me out. He probably thinks I'm choiced, which is why he went for the Protect, and hopefully to lock me into a specific move so that he could go to something to resist it. Here I actually go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting him to switch out, you know, thinking that I'd be scarfed and go to either Garchomp or to Latios, but he actually stays and goes for a Leech Seed, which is kind of frustrating, and I know he's probably going to protect here, so I'm going to go for a switch and hopefully get rid of that Leech Seed. He actually goes for Leech Seed again, which is an excellent move on his part. He predicted me to predict his Protect and decided to predict the switch and go for a Leech Seed, which is going to hinder my Gorbis, because it means even though I'm going to get a Shell Break off, it means I'm going to be able to, I am going to get the pass and I'm going to get my White Herb. However, an important part of Leech Seed is the fact that whenever you try and Baton Pass with Leech Seed attached, it's going to Baton Pass the Leech Seed as well. Same applies with things such as Aqua Ring, and all those sort of self-healing things. Ingrain, I believe, as well, is passed with Baton Pass. So here I do have limited life left. I managed to live the Power Whip mainly because of my bulky EV spread, and I'm going to Baton Pass out to my Slabs. Now, Leech Seed is going to fail, obviously. He probably predicted me to... I don't know what he predicted there, but I guess he was just using a move to stall for time. Power Whip probably would have been better, but you know, he's burned and stuff, so it's not going to do too much. I'm going to go for the payback, predicting him to switch to Latios to try and resist my Drain Punch, but he doesn't go to Latios, which is fine. He's just going to protect, and at this point I really just need to get a hit in with a Drain Punch. Unfortunately, he actually gets the double protect. I was under the impression that double protect was removed from this generation. I thought they changed Protect's mechanics, but apparently you can still use Protect in the same vein as it was used in 4th gen. Its effectiveness halving every time you use it, which is kind of frustrating, but it does mean I'm able to get my my Drain Punch off on his potential 3rd Protect, which thankfully fails. He's going to go to Blaziken here, another protecting poke, so he really is a Protect heavy team. He's you know, definitely one for scouting out choice items and all that other stuff, and you know, utilizing Protect with Leech Seed is a very good strategy on his part. At this point I am just going to go for the Mach Punch. His Blaziken tries to go for the Protect again, which meant that if I'd gone for the Drain Punch I would be looking at much nicer health than I am now. Unfortunately, being burned isn't going to help. Garchomp's going to come in. Mach Punch I don't think is going to take out even with +3, just because Garchomp is generally bulky, has very good you know, natural bulk as it were. So it's going to take that pretty well, considering it's a +3 stab hit. In any case, he's locked into Outrage. I have the perfect switch in, which is my Gengar. I don't carry HP Ice, obviously. I carry HP Fire instead, but it's going to be able to take him out with a Shadow Ball. So Rapushin's going to come in. Now, I do have a perfect counter to Rapushin, which is Wheezing, and I do not want to take the payback, so I'm kind of thinking I should probably go to Wheezing here. I was thinking about maybe Gorbis as a death fodder, but it really would have been pointless, and I want to kind of save Gorbis for death fodder in a bit when Latios comes in, because Latios will threaten me with the Psychic. I believe he's going to switch this turn to it. Okay, perhaps he doesn't. I'm just going to go for the Clear Smog, and he sees that payback really isn't doing too much. He does get a crit there, kind of frustrating, and I think he's going to go for some kind of hit here as well, but I am going to get a Pain Split off, hopefully on the predicted switch, or not, maybe not. Okay, fine. I've just forgotten what happened. Apparently I just went for a Clear Smog, not wanting him to set up bulk ups. In any case, now I'm going to have to switch to my death fodder. I do go to Gorbis. He isn't going to Draco Meteor, but he is going to go for the Psychic, which even with the specs is, you know, hurts a lot. So Gengar's going to come in here. And Scarf Gengar, an excellent revenge killer, definitely something as a useful check to Latios. Shadow Ball is going to be a KO from this range. I know Latios does have decent Spec D, but the fact that he doesn't have a Soul Dew is extremely important. It means that Stab Shadow Ball is going to be able to finish him off, and now Gengar is going to be threatened by the incoming Rapushin. Fortunately for me though, I believe Rapushin is his last, meaning that I'm able to switch into my Wheezing freely, and essentially, I don't think he can do much to me at this point. His only sort of way in getting at the rest of my team with a Repulsion would be to reach +6 with bulk up and to sweep me with, I guess, Mach Punch or, you know, Payback or that sort of type of move. But unfortunately for him, I have a Wheezing, which is a very nice counter to any kind of Repulsion. I'm going to Pain Split off just to get my health up and actually deal a nice amount of damage to him. As you can see, he's going to go for a bulk up, but I do have the Clear Smog, an excellent addition to Wheezing's move pool, and it's, you know, going to reduce all of those stats. I could be using Haze, of course. Haze is useful if you want to use against steals or things that, you know, things that can't be hit by a poison move and that sort of stuff, but Clear Smog I prefer just for the damage, and there aren't too many boosting steals I see around, so it's definitely an excellent check for Repulsion, an excellent sort of solid counter. He's going to keep going for bulk ups here and eventually realizes that it is going to be worthless and is going to run, which is going to leave the score at 3-1 to me. In any case, that was an excellent game there, and I do hope to perhaps have a rematch in the future. I can't quite remember his actual Zat name, but I'm just going to call him John for the sake of his name being that in the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. PokeMoshPit. If you're new to the channel and have just recently discovered it, and we've got a ton of great battlers on here, and you should definitely go check them out. So check out my channel if you enjoyed this match. Link will be in the description. As always, subscribe to the PokeMoshPit, and until next time, I will see all you guys then. Peace. What is going on, PokeMoshPit? NBZ here, back with another game for you. Now, you may be wondering why I'm using a emulator to record this, as I usually use camera recordings. First of all, I didn't live record this one. I just kind of wanted a game, and it turned out to be pretty decent, so I decided to versus record it, and instead of, you know, putting my camera and versus recording it, I decided to try out an emulator and just see how this whole shebang works, seeing as pretty much everyone does it nowadays anyway. I thought it would be a kind of change of pace or something. So we'll just see how it goes. I know I personally don't like the versus recorder too much because it goes too fast, but I hope that I'll be able to do this game justice. As you can see, I'm kind of using a pseudo Sun team here. My opponent has a couple of guys who can abuse it. You've got Infernape there, who is obviously going to get stabbed with the fire attack in the sun. It's going to do a lot of damage to my team if I'm not careful around it. And he has a Casadorperfect, which could possibly use the Fire Blast to abuse stuff. But I guess overall it should turn out to be pretty cool, so let's see how this goes. So, going to lead off with my Ninetales. I knew he'd lead off with his Feraligatr. He did have it in the first slot, so I was pretty much certain he would do. Now, I do carry Will-O-Wisp on my Ninetales, so I'm going to go for it straight off the bat, and it is going to cripple that Feraligatr straight away. Even though he does carry the super effective Earthquake, it is not going to do enough to take me out. It's only going to do just below half, which is absolutely perfect. It means that I am now able to set up some other kind of move, or feel free to switch out to something else. I believe that I go out to my Shiftry here, predicting another Earthquake, and hopefully being able to take it relatively well thanks to the burn. But he's going to double switch, we're going to double switch here, and he's going to go to a Casadorperfect. Now, I do carry the low kick on my Shiftry, and I knew I would outspeed just due to the Chlorophyll, but I decided to be safe. I didn't want to lose my Shiftry early, and I'm pretty sure that that 4 times effective U-turn from Casadorperfect would have taken me out. Went to Blissey, and I am using Blissey, kind of a whorish poke, but I decided that I was feeling like using it for once, so, you know, why not? I decided to. It does take the U-turn very nicely, but I'm going to switch out to my Ninetales on the Metagross switch-in, fearing any kind of Meteor Mash or something he's going to throw at me. He does actually decide to set up the Stealth Rock. I didn't think he would do that, simply because he has a Donphan on his team. I thought Donphan would be the one carrying the rocks. Turns out not to be, and it does turn out to be his Metagross. Of course, he is afraid of the fire move in the sun. And I go for the Overheat, which is going to miss first time on the Feraligatr, but the second time it is going to hit. And I decide to go for the Overheat mainly just because of the sun boost it has, and because it's kind of just overpowered. And I'm kind of surprised by how much it did. I thought it would do a little bit more, but maybe the Feraligatr is bulky. In any case, he does get a crit Ice Punch. It doesn't really matter because he did over-predict there. I'm guessing he was predicting my switch to Shiftry, and thus wanted to get some super effective damage on that. And here is where my special attack lowering comes into play, because Jesus, look at that! even an extra sentry is not able to take out for Alligator from that low health. I was shocked, stunned, surprised out of my mind that that didn't happen. So yeah, that was kind of terrible. Does mean I take a lot more damage than I wanted to. Waterfall isn't going to do too much because it's weakened by the sun and by the burn, but he does go down to the burn in the end. Now Infernape comes in, is going to go for the Thunder Punch. I really just didn't want to switch out. Stealth Rocks were up and I was probably going to die on the switch in, so I'm going to leave for Death Rod and Ninetales. Now I'm going to bring out She Likes to Fight and Makeup because I'm going to get off a sub here. I was bluffing the Choice Scarf, which I'm guessing that's the reason he switched out, because he was afraid of it. And does go to Donphan. Now here I forget that Donphan has the Sturdy, which is going to leave him at 1 HP, and I'm thinking a Fire Blast and the Sun's going to take him out. It would have done if not for the Sturdy. I do get a crit. Completely useless, of course, because Donphan's special defense is nothing to shout out about. Holy crap, I'm gonna die. So, he roars me out. That was terrible, sorry guys. He roars me out and my sub goes away, unfortunately, and now I'm gonna take more Stealth Rock damage when I switch in. But I go out to Teriyaki-mon, something or other, and Close Combat's gonna finish him off. I could have potentially gone for the Rock Polish or the Swords Dance there, because this is a double set, a double setup set, but he does have the Infernape, which I'm afraid is going to outspeed me, which is why I'm going to switch out and hopefully take a Close Combat, which he's going to do. But he actually goes for the Mach Punch, which is not going to affect Shandara in any way whatsoever. And now that he's seen my substitute, he knows that he's going to outspeed me and is going to go for the Thunder Punch to take me out. Really not too bothered by it. Shandara did pretty much a nice job overall, so I'm not too sad to lose it. So in comes my Teriyaki-on. I think I can live a Mach Punch. Kind of naive of me, but I actually don't, and unfortunately I am going to go down to that. Now I haven't seen any Life Orb recoil, and I know he can change his moves up, so I really do not know what item this Infernape's carrying. I'm expecting it's probably Expert Belt, but I really don't know. But it's a big threat to my team, and for some reason here he goes for the Mach Punch on my Volcarona. I'm not sure if he didn't know what typing I was or something, but I'm going to be able to get off a free Fire Dance, and I'm going to get the special attack raise. Now I really don't know what was going on here in his mind, why he switched out, why he was using Mach Punch or any of that, because any sort of fire move from that range with the Sun Boost would have taken me out. It is neutral because I'm Bug type, as well as having that Fire type is going to be neutral and not, you know, resisted. So I get the Morning Sun off as he switches to a Metagross, which is just incredible because, you know, I'm back at full health. It's as if Stealth Rock weren't even here, and I have +1 special attack in the Sun with a Fire Dance. It's easily going to take out the Metagross, super effective, and that was no problem whatsoever. Now I do not get the special attack boost there, but in comes Sazendora. I know I can live a Draco Meteor. I just have a sense that I can, and because he U-turned, I know he's not Specs, so he would be Scarfed. And I know that after one Quiver Dance, I'm going to be able to outspeed him, so I do get the Quiver Dance off. Overall, it wasn't that big of a deal that his Draco Meteor missed in the end, I don't think, because I would have lived it, got off a Quiver Dance and killed his Sazendora anyway, and I'm guessing that at the health I would be now, his Mach Punch from Infernape wouldn't have been able to take me out, added to the fact that he has this Dust Noir, which, you know, Fire Dance is going to do a lot of damage to it. It isn't surprisingly going to take him out. I do have +2 special attack and the Sun and Stab, but Dust Noir really does have heavy defenses, and he's going to be able to live it. He goes for a Curse, kind of in vain, hoping to, you know, just do as much damage to me as he can. He's going to take off a quarter on the first turn, but I'm going to be able to outspeed this Infernape and take him out with a Fire Dance, which is very, very nice. It means I'm going to take the game here as Volcarona managed to pull off a sweep, and dude, Volcarona rocks in the sun, not going to lie. Yeah, so that was a pretty decent game. Tara-Naga, this was from Smogon. I found this dude on Smogon. You know, it was during the middle of the day, so most Americans weren't on any Zats or anything, and there weren't many people around. I decided to go on to Smogon and, you know, have a look around, and, you know, found this guy, and it turned out a pretty decent match. So I kind of felt I had to rush that. Don't know what you guys thought of that narration, but kind of felt rushed-ish. I hope it was okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. And hopefully bring you guys another match very, very, very soon. If you would like to check out my channel, if you enjoy this narration, then please go click that link in the description. I'm sure it will be there. Otherwise, sub to the PokeMoshPit, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Goodbye. What is up, PokeMoshPit? NBZ here, bringing you a quick one today. It's a roulette against AdamRainer467, yeah, just had this a while ago. I believe he posted it on the beta channel a while back, but I just decided to post it here now, just for a quick fun match, and let's see how this goes down. So he's going to lead off with a Scyther, which obviously Mr. Mime cannot take because it is weak to the bug move. So I'm going to switch out to Miss Mages, hopefully take a U-turn, but he's going to set up a Swords Dance on the first turn of the match. Of course, this is roulette, so setting up early potentially isn't too bad an idea. So yeah, it's not really that bad of a move on his part, and I guess he knew he could get one up safely because Mr. Mime couldn't really do anything to him. But Miss Mages thankfully is going to outspeed. Unfortunately, Shadow Ball is not going to be able to do a hell of a lot to him. I only carry Shadow Ball and Hidden Power Fighting as my two offensive moves, so it does around half-ish, and he takes me out with an Aerial Ace, which is fine because I have a Crobat here. And it's faster. Unfortunately, he does carry the priority in the quick attack, but a Brave Bird is going to be enough to take him out from that health easily. Would have been a one-hit KO from, you know, full health anyway, seeing as Crobat does have some manly power, and stab, of course, with a Brave Bird. I believe this is a Life Orb set. It is Life Orb, as Rick pointed out at one of my videos when I use Super Fang with this guy. Super Fang and Life Orb is kinda retarded, but yeah, I kinda just that was a dirt moment for me. But I'm gonna go for a Brave Bat here on a Brave. Wow, a Brave Bat. That would be cool, man, if Brave Bat was an actual move. But it's just a Brave Bird as it is, and I am gonna outspeed the Azelf. Thankfully, he wasn't scarfed there. I was kind of thinking he may be scarfed, but I was gonna fodder Crobat anyway. So I do get him down really, really low to the point where my second Crobat, because I get two Crobats in this roulette. That was hella funny. So yeah, I'm gonna U-turn straight out of there, outspeed it again, and take out the Azelf without it actually doing anything. It kind of indirectly killed my Crobat via the Brave Bird, not the Brave Bat, but unfortunately it does go down. Well, fortunately for me, it goes down. So I'm going to bring in my Alakazam, and he goes to an Electivire. The only reason I would think he would bring this in if it was Scarfed, and I kind of think, well, no one really runs Scarfire, so maybe he just doesn't have anything else to go to take this Alakazam. Or I can't remember. Maybe that was a double switch. We both just switched in there. I can't quite remember. Anyway, just going to go for the Stab Psychic to see how much it does, and it actually doesn't do as much as I hoped it would. I don't have a Life Orb, and therefore it probably didn't do its maximum capacity, but it's going to get it down really low enough where Crobat can easily come in and revenge kill on him. I think I'm going to go for a Cross Poison here over the U-turn, because I really didn't have anything to U-turn into, and I'm not sure if it would have killed or not, the unstabbed nature of it and such, but it probably would have, just being sort of careful, as it were. He's going to bring in a Mantine here, which is a perfect thing for me to set up a Hypnosis on. Granted, I am using Diamond, and I think that he hosted, so it depends on what cart he was using, but if he was using Diamond as well, then it was 70% accuracy. You know, I'm kind of shady in that area about Hypnosis' accuracy, but it does hit first time, which I cannot complain about in any way whatsoever. Gonna go for the Cross Poison, because it's probably my strongest stab move I can hit him with, apart from... I don't carry any Brave Bird on this guy, just Aerial Ace. But he surprises me here. He actually carries Sleep Talk on his Mantine, so it looks like he is a Rest Talking Mantine. Pretty interesting set. I guess it's probably standard-ish in UU where it is run, but it's just cool to see it nonetheless. You know, roulette gives you a chance to see new and interesting stuff you maybe haven't seen before. So yeah, just go for the second Cross Poison, and at this point another one is going to take him out, so it's not really going to be too much bother for me to get rid of him. He's going to go down, and yeah, I'm not really looking too bad here. Crobat's almost at full health, and I got a couple of guys in the wings. Got Lapras sitting there nicely, who I believe I'm going to go into now, because I see a Camerupt, and I'm like, I don't really know what Camerupt does. So Lapras is a bulky guy, probably take a hit, and I'm going to go to it. 5 loss hits me, and it does a lot. A hell of a lot. Something I did not expect at all. I'm thinking he's spexed. That's the only sort of thing I can come up with how much damage that did. Now this Lapras actually carries Hydro Pump over the Surf, which is going to cost me here. Really my own fault for running Hydro Pump over Surf, but you know, the miss does happen when you don't want it to. And he's going to get lucky by hitting 3 Fire Blasts in a row, back to back. Oh, sorry, wow, I must have been stupid. Just forget what I said about him having specs. That's a Life Orb he's carrying. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, I'm going to go for the Psychic with Mr. Mime because I know I can outspeed, and I'm pretty sure that a Stab Psychic, I've got Wise Glasses to boost me a little bit. It's going to take him out. But at this point, he only has a Farfetch left, and I do carry Thunderbolt on Mr. Mime, which is actually going to be able to take out that Farfetch. So it's going to result in the end as a 2-0 victory to me. Just a pretty fun roulette there. Not a whole lot of predicting going on, but you know, some cool stuff showed up. Farfetched unfortunately didn't get to do anything, but it's always cool to see something like that in you know, roulette's good fun. So if you would like to check out my channel, I'm sure the link will be in the description. And make sure to like the video, comment if you have anything constructive to say or anything mean to say to me. If you want, I really don't mind. So yeah, thanks again guys. I will see you next time on the PokeMoshPit, and yeah, sub if you have not already. Goodbye guys. Moshpit, how are we doing today? Now, just a little thing. As you can see, emulator and stuff. Really, the thing is, the powers that be have said emulator is the way to go now on PokeMoshPit, and I cannot use camera recordings. So from now on, my Moshpit games are all going to be emulated. I'm apologizing to people who would prefer my live recordings, but it's not going to be. So we're just going to have to roll with this, and you know, hopefully I'll get used to it, and it'll be okay. But here we have a game against IKotone, who I can't remember where I played him, but I played him, apparently. And he's actually running a Trick Room team, which I haven't actually seen anyone try Trick Room in 5th Gen yet, which is kind of interesting. And I'm bringing some Rain, just because Rain is fun. So, lead off with Toad, and look at that. Toad almost one-hit KOs a defensive Bronzong lead. Just shows how powerful that thing is, you know, more powerful than a Latios's Specs Draco. Unfortunately for me, he sets up his Trick Room, and I'm going to go to Natore here, mainly just to finish him off with a payback as he gets his rocks down. And he did have a balloon there, so he probably was running Heat Proof, I'm guessing, you know, running the balloon, which is kind of interesting, kind of give him Levitate and Heat Proof simultaneously, as long as he doesn't get hit. But gonna go out to Politoed here because the Dusclops is kind of a threat, and I know that I can live 2 Seismic Tosses and probably do a lot of damage with a Hydro Pump in the rain, if not 2-hit KO at least. I know I won't be able to 1-hit it just because of the Eviolite, but thanks to you know, a couple of turns of Trick Room gone, I'm able to outspeed him the next turn, and he sees that he does not want to lose his Dusknoir just yet, so he's going to go out to his own Natore, which obviously is very difficult to kill in the rain. That's why I run it on my rain team, and that's why I'm going to go out to mine now, because I really don't have anything else to go to take the Gyro Ball, and you know, he's going to take it nicely. So Pink Ball gets critted, and he actually takes Iron Barbs from that Gyro Ball. Apparently Gyro Ball is a contact move, so that's, you know, gonna help me out. You know, I do like to run Rugged Helmet sometimes on Natore. I think it's a really cool set, but lefties just seemed a better fit for this team, so went with it. Stealth Rock, I'm gonna get a free chance to lay them down. There's no other point in the match which would be better to than just now, so I'm going to do that. And out comes Noodles here, who is going to be able to take a hit probably from Rangozu. Didn't really know what he was going to go for, and I didn't really have anything else to go to take anything, so Noodles was my best bet. I could switch out with Regeneration if I needed to heal stuff up, and I can outspeed him and Sleep Powder him, which is definitely a good thing, because Reuniclus is scary, and definitely a threat if you don't get rid of it early and don't stop it, especially if it's in Trick Room. Definitely a real issue, but Knockoff is going to help to decrease its survivability by getting rid of that lefty's gain. And in comes Steve-O, my Dragonite, who is going to throw a Specs Hurricane right in the face of this Reuniclus. Loving this Dragonite set. It gets boosted on very many moves which it has. It's Draco, Hurricane, Thunder, and Surf. All 4 of those moves are boosted in some way, either by Stab or by Rain. There you go. I'm able to live that hit and take him out with the second Hurricane. Didn't get the Confusion hacks first time, but you know, Dragonite is bulky enough to where it can take Reuniclus on, especially when it doesn't have a life orb set. It's very easy to take down. Unfortunately here, he did have the Trick Room set up from earlier, and he's going to be able to bring in Dusclops and take out my Dragonite with an easy S-Toss. Go to Noodles here because I think I'm slower, so I may be able to outspeed, but that was a terrible move on my part. I completely forget about Pain Split, and he takes me down real low with that, so that was unfortunate and a half, because don't want to be losing health on Noodles, do not want to be doing that whatsoever. However, because he lost his Reuniclus, that is no longer asleep. I'm going to be able to put this guy to sleep. Knockoff's going to happen first of all, just to get rid of that Eviolite. It gives me a much easier time of taking him out, and now the Twisted Dimension return to normal, I can get to outspeed him, sleep powder him, and I can just switch out here and get my regeneration boost, which is that's really nice for me. So my plan of action here is to switch out Tangrowth. I'll get Regenerator, and I'll be able to send in something which can set up on this Dusclops. Now he is asleep and has not had, well, he's had one turn of sleep I think, because I outsped him first turn, but this is the first chance he could have got to wake up. Thankfully he doesn't wake up, and I'm able to set up a free substitute here, hoping he doesn't wake up again, and he does stay asleep. Perfect. Now I do have Swords Dance on this Toxicroak. No I don't. Wait, do I? Yes I do. I do have Swords Dance, and I believe I'm going to set one up right here, which is perfect. Get the sub up. I got Dry Skin, which means with lefties and Dry Skin I'm gaining pretty much Poison Heal every turn, and I do get to set up the Swords Dance. Fortunately for me, even though he's going to go for the Trick Room, I do carry the priority in Sucker Punch. If you didn't know, priority will still take precedence in Trick Room, even though, you know, the slower guys will be faster. Priority still takes precedence, and he's going to bring out Notori here. He is going to be able to outspeed and get rid of my sub, probably with a Gyro Ball, but he's going to go for a Curse here. I don't really know why. Really, I can easily take him out with a Drain Punch at this point, especially seeing as I had a +1, but the reason I went for the sub there was because I predicted him to Gyro Ball and get rid of my sub, so I was going to keep subbing until I stalled out Trick Room, essentially. Unfortunately, isn't going to happen, and Drain Punch is just going to happen now as he takes out my sub. I probably should have subbed again there, predicting the Gyro Ball again, but you can't win them all, and unfortunately going to take a bit of Rough Skin, not Rough Skin, Iron Barbs, same difference, and going to get the Dry Skin right back up. So, you know, Toxicroak's back at full, having subbed up, Swords Dance and all that good stuff, and I think all he has left is the Snorlax, which is going to be able to outspeed me and hit me with a Fire Punch, but in the rain, not going to do enough to me. Definitely not going to do enough, and a Drain Punch is going to be an easy one-hit kill on that Snorlax. Just go grab a cup of tea while its HP goes down. Not as bad as Blissey, but of course, you know, the HP does go down, and you know, Toxicroak finishes that off nicely, staying at full health, and he just has an Umbreon left, so essentially his team wasn't very prepared for Toxicroak. He's going to run there as his last is weak to me, and that's going to be unfortunate. He had three guys there, Ferrothorn, Snorlax and Umbreon, who were all weak to Toxicroak, so it was a perfect opportunity once I had got rid of that Dusclops to be able to set up, and of course, you know, a lot of his team, to be honest, was weak to my Toxicroak. Reuniclus was Psychic type, so Sucker Punch would have dealt with that as well. So yeah, you know, it's a good rain team, pretty solid stuff and interesting sets. I've kind of changed up recently and used a more different one, but you know, it's going well. I'm enjoying it. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this game and all that good stuff. If you'd like to check out more stuff from me, link will be in the description to my own channel. I also got a Twitter recently, Twitter, so if you like that sort of thing, then I'll leave my Twitter in the description, and you can Twitter me with Twitter if you want to do that. But apart from that, go sub to the PokeMoshPit, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. What is happening, PokeMoshPit? NBZ here with a game for you. This is an Ubers match today. Ubers is perhaps the most fun that I've been having in 5th Gen so far. Really enjoying using this Ubers team, and definitely a lot of fun. This one is against Majora777, 3 sevens that is. Great guy, and he has some great battles on his channel, so be sure to check out his stuff after the game is done. But first of all, we're just going to throw out our dudes here and duke it out. So this was actually taken at my live stream a week ago, and you know, I got some good games done. I was kind of having a pretty bad streak at this point. I'd lost, I think, 6 games in a row. I was doing pretty terrible, so trying to redeem myself in an Ubers game, and let's see how it goes down. So he's going to lead off with a Dialga set, as I am leading off with my Groudon. To start with, I'm thinking he may be some kind of offensive variant, but I know I can take any sort of hit, so he's going to go for a Flamethrower, and he's unfortunately going to get some hacks right off the bat and burn me, which is really frustrating for me. Means that my Earthquakes are really going to be doing nothing later on in the game, so Groudon is crippled straight off the bat. I'm going to Thunder Wave him to start off with, mainly just, you know, because I thought he was some kind of offensive variant, and I wanted him to be slower. So, you know, I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave first, and now I'm going to set up my Stealth Rock. I see it's the perfect opportunity to do so, and he's probably going to kill me with another Flamethrower, so what better time to lay them down than now, early game. But he shows to me that he is in fact a sort of more defensive set, and he's going to roll out Stealth Rocks of his own. And as I discover later on, he's actually running the exact same Dialga set as I myself ran in 4th gen, which is a, I think it's a modest defensive variant. With Stealth Rock and Dragon Pulse and Flamethrower and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to go for the Stab Earthquake just to see how much it'll do, kind of just leaving Groudon in for death fodder at this point, and not much else that he's going to be doing in the rest of the match. So he's going to say goodbye with a crit, which is just, you know, another bit of hacks to spite me. Why not? Just, you know, give me another crit. That's cool. And at this point I'm thinking I want to revenge kill this Dialga with something. So first of all though, I'm thinking maybe it's better not to revenge him and to maybe take advantage of the fact that he's paralyzed, so I can bring in my Deoxys Defense form. Now I'm running Light Clay on the Deoxys Defense, which means that both Reflect and Light Screen are going to last for 8 turns in total as opposed to 5, and I do have both screens. So first of all, going to go for the Light Screen because he currently has a special attacker out, and if he wanted to use any special attacking moves on me, it would be to my benefit to go for the Light Screen first of all. But he does go for the paralysis on me, and I get Thunder Waved, unfortunately. And I'm just going to go for the Reflect here, as he's going to switch. Obviously sees that there's no point staying in at this point. I'm just going to go setting up all over him. So I do get off my Reflect, which is nice. That's very good. So both screens are up. I'm not really afraid of anything this Giratina throws at me, and I know I can live any hits, so I'm going to go for the Toxic here, mainly because I just want to wear that thing down, and you know, he's not going to do anything to me whatsoever, so going to throw a Toxic at him, and unfortunately it misses. Even with that 90% accuracy improvement, it unfortunately does miss, and I should have really predicted his switch back to the Dialga to dodge the Toxic again, but I really was just playing defensively and wasn't needing to predict. It wasn't necessary for me to predict, so I wasn't going for it, and in fact it misses anyway, so that's 2 misses in a row. Really doesn't matter. But in this case, I'm now going to switch out because I have both my screens set up, and I know that Dialga is probably going to do a Flamethrower to me, which Ho-Oh can take because it resists it and has good special defense, plus I have the Light Screen, so I think he's going to go for the Flamethrower, but I believe he gets paralyzed at this point, which is unfortunate for him. But of course, I do have the Roost, so I'm going to go for the Roost first of all. And at this point, I completely forget about the fact that he carries Thunder Wave, and that's going to kind of screw me over a little bit. He's going to Thunder Wave me, which does mean that my sweeping potential is limited. However, with the Light Screen and Reflect both up, it means that nothing's going to be able to take me out in one hit, and I'm probably, granted that I don't get any Parahaxes, hopefully I won't get Parahaxed, it means that I'll be able to still deal out masses of damage, because, let me tell you everyone, Ho-Oh, it's just a beast. Just brave bird everything, in the words of Fizzy Stardust himself, just brave bird everything, and it dies. Apart from Dialga. So, for Dialga, you know, Earthquake is going to be the better choice, going to go for it, and he does live, showing me that he is a defensive variant, and does carry that added extra bulk in his HP stat. But the Draco Meteor is not going to do too much to me. He's actually running Draco as opposed to Dragon Pulse. I run Dragon Pulse on my 4th gen one, but Draco can be used in, you know, if you want to. I prefer Dragon Pulse as a more defensive variant, but you know, each to their own. It's going to not work out for him because now his special attack is pitiful, and he's going to have to switch, and he predicts the Earthquake again, but knowing that a Sacred Fire will kill from this point, I'm just going to go for the Sacred Fire, just on the off chance he switches, and it turns out that he does switch to Lugia. That is beautiful. Absolutely amazing, because Ho-Oh, Sacred Fire, easily after Stealth Rock damage, that's an easy kill on Lugia. I know it's a very defensive dude, but Ho-Oh himself with Life Orb is a man, and Danger is appropriate as a name. Just saying. So he's going to bring in Palkia. The light screen wears off, but even though the light screen is worn off, I'm still very confident that I can live a Surf from Palkia. Main reasoning for that is the fact that Ho-Oh has massive special defense. I believe it's base 154, which is kind of mammoth. And also, obviously, the Sun is up, so Sun is going to reduce his power, and it's going to allow me to get off a Brave Bird, which is actually going to fucking destrolish that Palkia. That is a word. And it is the most appropriate because it's Brave Bird everything. In the words of Fizzy Stardust himself, Brave Bird everything. Just dies. Just dies. That's it. So, at this point, obviously, gonna go down to the recoil, but Ho-Oh did its job. Took out Lugia, took out Palkia, took out everything else that it needed to. Dialga is almost dead at this point, so pretty much took out 3 of its dudes, which is awesome. So I'm going to go to my own defensive Dialga. This one is slightly different. The reason that I carry Stealth Rocks on my lead is obviously because I want Stealth Rocks as a lead, and I wouldn't carry Stealth Rocks on 2 guys, so instead of Stealth Rock on this guy, I'm actually carrying Metal Burst and Roar, so he's more of a sort of phasing Dialga set, and I was tempted to go for the Metal Burst there, but I thought a Dragon Pulse would be more safe. It's Stab, I'm modest, I'm easily going to kill an Origin form Giratina since he doesn't have much defense, and you know, Dragon Pulse is just generally better. You know, Metal Burst would have easily killed him, and I guess I could have gone for it just for the fun of it, but I wasn't sure if he was going to set up a sub or anything crazy like that, so Dragon Pulse was the safer option in the long run, and I do take it nicely. You know, special defense, investment, and HP is going to help me out in that case. So in comes Garchomp. At this point, I'm scared. Very, very scared. My Ho-Oh is dead, and if he is Scarf Chomp, then there is a high possibility that he will do pretty terrible things to my team. I do have one reserve, which is my Deoxys defense, and all I need to do is not get para-haxed, set up a Reflect, and once Reflect is up, both his last 2 guys, Rayquaza and his Garchomp, are going to be useless against the rest of my dudes, because Reflect will save me with that defense upping. I know I can live an Earthquake, and he crits me at the very last second. This was not my night, guys. This was not my night. I'd lost 6 times in a row, and it was not my night. So at this point, I've lost all hope. My last 2 are a Zekrom and a Reshiram. They are both weak to Earthquake, and they are both slower than Scarf Chomp. So this is it. I'm done. I'm completely over, and unfortunately, he is going to be able to pull off the victory. But as you can see, Zekrom lives! What is that? I just psyched you out so much! What, son? What? Zekrom lives? What? Okay, enough of the craziness. I just shat myself. As soon as that happened, and Zekrom lived an Earthquake from Garchomp, I knew that I loved this Pokemon more than anything in the entire world combined. And he was my savior. Cannot even believe it. So enough of the shenanigans. I'm going to go into Reshiram, and at this point I wasn't sure whether I was going to outspeed his Rayquaza or not, and that was kind of still in the back of my mind. I can still lose this, I don't really know, but as you can see, I take Stealth Rock damage first, so that usually is a sign that I'm the faster poke. But it does turn out to be correct. I'm running Timid choice specs. He's actually running an Adamant Rayquaza, and so even though he has a higher base speed, I'm going to be able to outspeed thanks to my nature, so that was awesome. Draco Meteor does not miss, and specs, Draco Meteor manages to easily take out the Rayquaza. His last is his Dialga, and as long as Draco Meteor does not miss, I have this in the bag. You know, he's pretty much dead as it is, dead in the water, and I'm going to be able to pull off the 1-0 victory with choice specs Reshiram standing strong, and my god, do I love Zekrom. Like, Jesus Christ, the man himself. I cannot believe it. So awesome, so awesome. One of my favourite matches from that stream, one of my favourite matches I've had in an Ubers game, and thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that kind of twist there at the end. Definitely a lot of fun, and if you enjoyed my narration, definitely go check out my own channel, link will be in the description. Go check out Majora777. I've already checked out a lot of his work, and he is a very great narrator, so I'm kind of underrated, and I would appreciate appreciate it if you checked him out too, as well as subscribing to the PokeMoshPit. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Peace! What's up, PokeMoshPit? NBZ here, bringing you a game against a dude called NintendoSteven. I believe I met him on Elo's live stream, and he was in the stream chat, and I wanted a game, so I was like, dude, let's have one. So he basically was like, yeah, and we did one. And as you can see, teams are kind of interested in stuff, but we'll get to that in a second. First of all, just want to address a couple of issues in the last video I uploaded here. I had a couple of people complaining about the speed of the video and why it wasn't sped up and all that stuff, but all I want to say, you know, is that in order for me to give you guys insightful narrations, I have to be able to explain what I'm doing, explain to you what my thought processes are, and all that good stuff. And to be frank, if I was going to speed up the video too fast, I would not have the time, especially with the fast speed of the Versus recorder, to even go anywhere near into the depth that I want to in terms of describing what's going on. So that's how I roll. You know, I'm not going to speed it up too much, just a tiny little bit, but that's I hope it's going to be for the benefit of most people, because it's going to help me describe what's going on. So here we go. Lead off with a Whimsicott, and this is a choice band switcheroo set. It works well, but not in the situation like this. I kind of made a poor misplay to start with. He has a Typhlosion, which is obviously just, you know, going to hit me with an attack. Most people realize that Whimsicott, you know, usually is not going for offensive moves and goes for stupid setup crap, which I did. I went for the choice band and switcheroo, and it's not going to work out for me whatsoever, as he takes me out on the first hit. So I'm 6-5 down, not looking good, but he is choice band locked on to Heat Wave, and I'm going to go out to the eel to take the neutral hit, and if not, I'm going to be able to switch out because I have the Volt Switch, which will either hit his Typhlosion for neutral damage and do a decent amount with the stab, or will hit the switch in and give me switch advantage onto whatever poke he decides to bring in, which is the Latias. So I'm going to bring in my Bishop. Now, I could have gone for the Sucker Punch here, but I believe that Thunder Wave was the better option at the time, mainly because I had a Leavanny, which has Sword Stance, and if I was to cripple this Latias and, you know, make it slower, then my Leavanny could potentially come in later on, set up a Sword Stance, and it would have, you know, a good time sweeping, and I just wanted to set up that sweeping, you know, ability for later on, which is why I went to the Thunder Wave. But I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch here. It was slightly naive of me, mainly because I knew he was probably going to switch out, and I probably could have gone for an Iron Head, which should have done a decent amount of damage to the Nidoking instead of him dodging any move. But in any case, the Earth Power is so obvious that it hurts, and I'm going to go to a Levitator to take it with ease, which is my Eel. Now, I could have gone for the Volt Switch here, predicting him to switch out, but I didn't want to be that obvious, and I'm going to go for the I didn't want to be that risky, let's say, and I'm going to go for the obvious Hidden Power Ice. Unfortunately, Rotom Water comes in, Rotom Wash, which is a bulky piece of crap, and he shows me here that he is a bulky piece of crap because he carries the Will-O-Wisp, and that's actually not going to affect me, mainly because of the fact that I have the Volt Switch and I'm specially based. All my moves are special attacks, so the Volt Switch does a decent amount. You know, I'm thinking maybe a 2-hit KO from that range, but I'm going to switch back to my Bishop, and as soon as I switch to Bishop, I'm thinking, well, why did you do that? He's just going to Will-O-Wisp you again, so I'm just going to take advantage of the fact that he's obviously going to Will-O-Wisp me, go back to my Salmon and dodge it because he's already burned, and you know, unfortunately for me, I'm just going to take all this damage. I have Life Orb and I'm now burned, so my survivability is really low currently. Added to the fact his Rotom is faster than me, Shadow Ball's going to take me down pretty damn low, and at this point I'm thinking Volt Switch is probably going to take him out, but as you can see, when it hits him, his HP is going to go down, and he's going to live with a smidgen, a small smidgen, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So I do, however, have something to revenge kill with, which is Sierra Custerbeck from the Versa Emerge, and she's going to X-Scissor the Rotom Wash, and it's going to die. As you can see, I'm a Life Orb variant, and because I'm Life Orb, it perhaps alerts to him that he can safely bring in his Nidoking as a Scarfer, outspeed me and hit me with a move. So you know, that's definitely good knowledge for him to have, but not good for me. So I'm going to go out to my Salmon, basically, on the off chance that he misses Fire Blast, I'll be able to get a hit in if he isn't Scarfed. If he is Scarfed, he'll outspeed me, of course, hit me with a Fire Blast again and kill me. At this point, you know, the eel was pretty much death fodder. He was burned, and Life Orb would recoil, would kill him, so whatever. I'm going to go to my Sork here because of the fact that I have the Earthquake, and I'm going to go for the obvious move. Unfortunately for me, he does predict that, goes for his Tangrowth, and Tangrowth is going to resist the Earthquake very nicely, not going to do a hell of a lot to it. In fact, it's going to do a tiny amount to it, which is no good thing. So Tangrowth is going to be slightly frustrating here. I should have gone to my Bouffalon at this point, predicting the grass move of some type, but instead I go to Sierra. Now, what I didn't realise before this match was that any grass move will activate Sap Sipper. Now, if you don't know what Sap Sipper is, it's basically an ability that Bouffalon has, which raises your attack if you're hit by a grass move, and I really should have gone to him to take that Stun Spore, because it would have boosted my attack and set me up to hit either his Tangrowth or a Switch in really hard. But unfortunately for me, Sierra is going to bite the bullet and take the Thunder Wave, not Thunder Wave, the Stun Spore. But I am going to get the Stab X Scissor off, and it's actually going to hit the incoming Galvantula, which is really, really nice, because thanks to the fact that this Galvantula is Life Orbed, even though I'm going to die from the Hidden Power Ice, it means that my Leavanny actually accomplished something in this match and managed to take out the Galvantula, you know, by him switching in and wanting to save his Tangrowth. Obviously, Tangrowth is more important to him at this point, and, you know, Leavanny obviously is something that threatens it, so he had to switch out and get rid of me in that case. But he's going to go back to his fastest guy. I'm assuming it is still a Choice Scarf Nidoking at this point, and I go out to my Sock, and I'm going to go for the obvious Earthquake again. I hoped that he would overpredict. My hope was he was going to overpredict, stay in, go for a hit, I would live with Sturdy, then kill him, but he's going to be safe, go to Latias, and I'm hoping maybe to get the Power Hacks here as I switch to my Bouffalon. I don't want to take a Dragon Pulse, so it does happen, fortunately, and he gets paralyzed, and at this point the Head Charge is going to easily take out that Latias, mainly because Head Charge is a move with ultimate power and destroys many things. So he is going to go out to his Tangrowth at this point, and I was kind of like, well, I don't have anything to switch to. I want to keep something awake. I don't want him sleep powdering shit and, you know, that hurting me in the long run. So I'm like, I'm going to stay in, go for the Head Charge, and it does, you know, just under half, well, just over half, in fact, which I'm like, after leftovers, maybe I'll be able to take him out. I'm not quite sure. But it's at this point he goes for the Sleep Powder, and it's my first encounter with Sap Sipper and Sleep Powder at this point, and I get the attack raise, and we were both like, what? That's awesome. That's hella awesome. So at this point I have a +1 Bouffalon with the Head Charge, and that's gonna Distrolish anything that comes in. Nidoking comes in, gonna get Distrolished. That's a one shot from that range, and he obviously wanted to keep Tangrowth for later, feeling that none of my guys could touch Tangrowth apart from this Bouffalon, which was definitely a great play on his part, because I'm not going to realise that, and unfortunately he's going to bring in something faster than me, which is the Typhlosion, and revenge kill me with the Heat Wave. I know he's Choice Band locked into this Heat Wave because the Choice Band I gave him earlier, so he can't pull any random shit on me. Unfortunately for me, I only have two guys left. One of them is this Bishop, the other is my Sork. Now, I do go for the Sucker Punch here, which perhaps wasn't the best option. I should have potentially switched out first to my Sork, because Sork would have 100% lived the Heat Wave, and could have hit him back with a close combat or something of that effect and hopefully taken him out, and then I could have bring in Kirikazan or Bishop later and done something to his Tangrowth. But it's not going to be, because I'm going to bring in this guy here. I'm thinking I can live the Heat Wave decently, so I'm going to go for the close combat as opposed to the reversal, because if I get down to a decent amount of HP, then reversal isn't going to do as much as I would hope it does. But he gets the crit, and at this point I'm like, oh man, I should have gone for the reversal. If I had gone for the reversal, then I potentially would have been able to take out his Tangrowth. He's going to come in. Of course, he does still have the regeneration ability, which is going to put him back to almost full health, and close combat, even with all that power, adamant close combat Choice Band is going to go down and down and down, but he is going to live with a respectable amount in the orange. And if that had been a reversal as opposed to a close combat, It may have killed it, I'm still not too sure on that, haven't run damage calcs or anything, but it may have well killed it, because reversal is basically as strong as an explosion was in Gen 4 right now, so especially come from stab plus adamant plus close combat. So that was a small misplay, small error on my part, and kind of came back to bite me in the ass. But there you go, 6 random dudes you never really see, which I decided to use. Apart from you do see a couple of them, but 6 random sets, I guess, is what I'm going to say. Yeah, definitely interesting stuff, and it was a good game overall. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you would like more stuff like this, my channel link will be in the description. You can go clickety-click it and go watch my stuff. Otherwise, sub to the Mosh Pit, and I will see you guys very, very soon with another game. Goodbye. Moshpit, what is going on? It's been a while since I brought you a game, and this is a pretty damn long one. It's against Casadorperfect. As you can see, there is a Garchomp in my team, but this game was taken before Chomp was sent to Ubers, so there you go, that's your explanation. But yeah, really long one, really interesting, and let's start this off. So he's going to lead off with him on top. The fake out's kind of obvious, but I don't really want to switch out straight away, and I'm thinking I might as well stay in, and I do not see the Sucker Punch coming whatsoever, but there you go, he goes for the Sucker Punch on me, and fortunately I'm able to land the V-Create, take down the Hitmontop, so I am up 6-5, but my Victini has taken a beating, and this is a choice banded Victini set, so I want to keep it. I want to keep that thing because it is powerful. It's powerful as hell and really useful for late game. So I'm going to throw in Umbreon because I know, Starmie's going to throw some special attacks my way. Umbreon can take any sort of hit it wants to throw at me. Surf is his option, and I take it like it was nothing. I scratch off my back, throw it away, and set up a Wish. Now in comes Registeel. I'm thinking he may want to T-Wave me, but more than likely is going to set up Rocks. Unfortunately, he does go for the T-Wave as I send in Victini, hoping he would go for the Rocks, but fortunately I'm able to get the Wish up, so that is one benefit to my situation, is the fact that I got the Wish up. But at this point I'm thinking I might as well switch back out to Umbreon, because I don't want to take any sort of move that he wants to do, and he's probably going to go to something else which is going to hit me hard, like his Victini, which he does go to and U-turns out. But I'm going to throw up a Wish again, and hopefully, do whatever and pay back and blah and blah and blah, and get my health back. Payback was the preferred option, but I could have gone for the Sucker Punch there. I wasn't sure what he was going to do, if he was going to stay in or switch out, and he U-turned, and there you go. In any case, I get up the Wish here, and Stealth Rocks go down, which ain't great for me, it's not great. But I do have the Heal Bell for one thing, so obviously I wasn't afraid of the T-Wave from the Registeel. I was more afraid of his Rocks. But as you can see, he's only got Hammer Arm to hit me with. It's not doing too much. There is no stab. He has a wall, and therefore it's not going to do as much damage as he probably would have hoped it would do. But at this point, I see no point into doing anything else other than wishing myself back to full and doing all that good stuff. And in comes Cress, and I'm like, oh, not Cress. I don't like Cress. It's just a pain in my ass. I go for the stab payback after he throws a Reflect up, and look, that just nothing. It just does nothing to the thing. Why does that thing just exist? And why? Oh, Cress, you hurt me so terribly. Cress is a pain in my ass this entire match, as you will see. But Starmie comes in. As you can see, Sucker Punch is still doing a decent amount, even after the Reflect's gone up. And with Life Orb, he's not going to be living too many hits, if I'm honest. And I can easily stall out his Reflect with Umbreon. His Starmie's not going to be doing anything to me. He's kind of trying to get the freeze hacks at this point, which is kind of annoying, but thankfully he's not going to get it at any point, and I'm just going to keep Wish stalling, paybacking when I need to, Sucker Punching when I need to, and working around that Reflect as I see fit. But at this point he's going to go to Registeel as I kind of go for a payback in vain, and at this point he is going to Thunder Wave my Umbreon, and I'm going to get the Synchronize onto him, which is perfect. That's fine. Umbreon has Heal Bell, so I'm not too bothered. But at this point, I see an opportunity. I see an opportunity rise out of the mist to go to Gorbis. So I go to Gorbis. He actually predicts my switch to Gorbis and double T-Waves, which is an excellent play on his part. But unfortunately for him, Gorbis is going to be able to set up the Shell Smash, which means, of course, that I can now baton pass to something safely. He recovers here, which was perhaps a poor move on his part. A Thunderbolt may well have taken me out, and he could have stalled for Power Hacks, which I'm guessing is what he was trying to do. But unfortunately for him, I get to go out to Garchomp.
Now Garchomp has a Yachi Berry on it, so I know I can live an Ice Beam from Starmie, and thanks to the Yachi Berry I'm going to live it. I get up another +2, so I'm now at +4. Garchomp is at +4. I'm feeling freaking fantastic at this point. Garchomp's going to sweep his entire team. But he makes a really, really excellent play here. Now, he knows that I am really confident in my killing everything on his team. So he knows I'm going to go for the Earthquake. So he takes the opportunities to switch into Cresselia. And Cresselia, at this point, I'm thinking, come on, +4 Dragon Claw. He must be specially defensive. This must kill him. +4 Stab Dragon Claw. Look how much that does to Cresselia. I ask you, Smogon, why is this thing in RU and that thing, which is now an Uber, does that much with +4? I do not even know. I don't even want to know, and it just makes me really sad that Cress exists in my life. Unfortunately, of course, he's going to switch out on my V-Create and, you know, fodder out his Registeel. I just wanted him to stay in, so he just died to a V-Create. And here I make another stupid play. I stay in on his Victini, hoping to maybe win the speed tie, and therefore go for a V-Create on him. But he's probably running max speed, and I'm running an Adamant Nature on my Victini, so I guess it probably wasn't a speed tie, and he just plain out sped me and killed me with a U-turn, which is really just painful. I needed Victini to deal with this Cresselia, and I should not have let it go so easily. I really need to switch out that point, but I was just afraid of him going for a V-Create of his own and not knowing what to go to. But at this point, Tangrowth comes in, and I know that if I get Cresselia to sleep, it will be a lot easier to take down, so that's exactly what I do. And here I make a really nice play. I predict his switch into Nidoking and go for the Earthquake, obviously knowing he's not going to keep Cresselia in to sleep, he just wants to leave it as sleep fodder. You know, it does a really nice, decent amount to the Nidoking, but of course he has the Stab, Sludge Bomb. It's going to do a lot to me, so I'm going to switch out to Umbreon to sponge that, and then go for a Wish on the incoming Victini. Now, I'm pretty sure that a V-Create at this point will kill Umbreon, and I go for the Sucker Punch, and hopefully, I thought Sucker Punch wouldn't kill it, but it would do enough to where it would take him down, like, super low, so I could sort of easily revenge him. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed on my Sucker Punch with Life Orb. I'm pretty sure that he would have probably gone down after a Sucker Punch, so really frustrating there that the Power Hacks happens at that precise moment, and I probably should have taken the opportunity to heal Bell earlier on, so it wouldn't have been a problem, but, you know, hindsight is hindsight, and there's nothing I could do about it. But at this point, I know that it's safe for me to bring in my Curem, and I have a substitute set on Curem, and I don't know why he's going for the Surf on me. Maybe it's because he doesn't carry Thunderbolt, maybe, I don't know. Or no, Thunderbolt will still be resisted, but I don't know why he's not going for the Ice Beam and the Surf, but there you go. It turns out that I'm going to be able to throw some Dragon Pulses at him, and he can't recover up as much as Dragon Pulse is doing, so therefore the long run term situation is going to be I'm going to be able to kill him with another hit. But I know he would kill himself from Life Orb that turn, and I know he really wanted to get rid of my sub, therefore I subbed again, which is absolutely perfect, because now it gives me an opportunity to hopefully try and get a kill on the Victini. He has the Life Orb, so I know he's definitely going to die, you know, eventually. Even this Shadow Ball doesn't kill him. Shadow Ball does end up killing him. It was a crit. Not sure if it really mattered. Curem has decent special attack, and, you know, it was a super effective hit. From half health, I don't know, but there you go, that's what happened. Now, in comes Nidoking, and I know that he's probably just going to go for an unstabbed hit and hit me with Fire Blast is what he does, but you see, Curem's pretty bulky, and I was really impressed by Curem this entire game, because he was doing work, he was doing well. And in comes Cress. Obviously he's going to sleep for at least one turn. Now what I should have done here was subbed. I believe I had enough HP for a sub, I'm not quite sure, but instead I go for the Blizzard, which was a terrible idea, because he wakes up on the second turn, the first turn wake, that is. I mean, it's the first turn that he could possibly wake up. He gets that first turn wake, I do not get off the sub, he Thunder Waves me, and now I feel like I am in a pile of shit. Blizzard is missing all over the place, he's hitting me with Psychics, I'm getting Spadef drops, everything is going terribly for me, and at the point at which I was like, I had this in the bag with a +4 Garchomp, and now Cresselia is ruining my life. It's so ruining my life. I don't like it. Why do you exist, Cress? Why? But that is what happens. when you use Cress, it just works for you, and it's just a pain in the freaking ass. So, I bring in Tangrowth, gonna go for the knockoff first of all, because just decrease its survivability as much as I can, want to get rid of those lefties, put him to sleep, and here I'm thinking, come on, I have a gap, I have an opening, he only has Cress left, this is his last guy, I have Gorbis and I have Tangrowth, I can pull this off, go to Gorbis, I want to get up a Shell Smash, get up one Shell Smash, and then hopefully pass it out to my Tangrowth, which will be able to hit him with a Power Whip with the Shell Smash and take him down. But as you can see, he gets another first turn wake, which just that just makes me so Cress, why do you exist? But as you can see, shit is not going my way at all. I get paralyzed for one, so I can't baton pass to Noodles, and second of all, I'm already paralyzed with Noodles, which isn't just great in the first place. And I'm just gonna get paralyzed and paralyzed and paralyzed. I'm not even gonna be able to get another sleep powder on him, for God's sake, which is one thing that I could have done. I could have brought in Noodles with the Shell Smash, sleep powdered him, make sure he was stayed asleep, then power whipped him away until he died. But unfortunately, Parahax is going to bite me right in the ass. He's going to take the victory with Cress at 1-0. Hell of a close match, Casador. Hell of a game. Really just back and forth a lot, like different situations. He played really well around my Chomp, and Cress was just a huge issue for my team. You know, Victini went down easily. I should not have let that die. And overall, it was kind of, you know, balanced back and forth, but really fun game. Definitely very interesting stuff going on, but you know, unfortunately Hax bit me in the ass a little bit more than it did to him, and there you go, that's what happens. So I thank you guys for watching. Please check out my channel if you enjoyed this narration, and I believe I will see you guys next time on the PokeMoshPit. If not, go check out my channel and I will see you guys there. Catch you next time, guys. PokeMoshPit. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I've been away on holiday, so I haven't been able to post anything up on the Moshpit, but today I have for you a really good battle. This one is against Averious from my stream the other night, and as you can see, the team I'm using is kind of random. I'm using 3 dudes who are like super duper OU, Mence, Politoed, and Thunderous, and then we got a Coughing, a Mantike, and a Scyther. So, it's interesting. It's a balance between 3 pretty fucking good things and 3 things that, you know, are interesting. We'll see how it goes. So, he leads with Ferrothorn. U-turn is a bad idea because, first of all, I'm going to take Iron Barbs, and second of all, he's going to recover his health with lefties. So it's just going to be to my negativeness to go for the U-turn. So I just go for the flat switch, and I go to Salamence. Now, he has a Chandelure on his team, so I'm actually going to make a really early game over prediction, and going to go for the Earthquake, which crits him. But as you'll see in a second, it won't really matter too much in the long run. So he does stay in. He stays in, thinking that I would overpredict and go for the Earthquake, which is a nice play on his part. You know, Leech Seed gets laid down on me, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, he may switch to Chandelure, but at this point I don't want to take the risk. I know another Earthquake won't kill him, so I'm just going to go flat out for the Fire Blast, hope it hits. It does, and I get rid of Ferrothorn early game. It's great. That thing's out the way. Rocks are not down. He didn't set up Stealth Rock, so Salamence is still usable later on. At 89 HP, I can bring him in later. So, in comes Hihidaruma, Darmanitan, and the best thing to go to is a rain-resisted, not very effective guy called Politoed, who's going to come in, resist the hit, the Flare Blitz, which I predicted would be the case, and I kind of I don't see Life Orb, obviously, so my inkling is that he is running Scarf or Band, most likely Scarf, because I'm sure Band would have done a lot more damage than that did to Politoed. So Hydro Pump is the easiest thing to go for, and it actually does a really nice chunklet to that Blastoise. I'm thinking there at this point maybe I want to stay in and see how much another one will do to him, but he just throws a Toxic my way, and that's kind of annoying. He does have a Tyranitar on his team, so I don't want to stay in and Hydro Pump because I know it's a losing battle to fight. So therefore I'm going to go out to Scyther. Unfortunately for me, because I set up Rain, his Surf's going to do a lot more than it would have usually. This is a bulky Scyther set, and it has you know, Eviolite and other stuff, and relatively bulky EV spread. So of course he has a T-Tar on his team, and because of T-Tar I want to keep Politoed for later on so I can keep Rain up. So I go for the Bug Bite on the incoming Darmanitan. I probably should have gone for the Aerial Ace there, but you know, Bug Bite, Aerial Ace, it was a toss-up between the two. I wasn't sure which was more powerful. And at this point I know he's going to go for kind of a rock slide, so the best thing to go to is my physical Eviolite Coughing. So I go to Coughing. I know he's probably want to switch because he's Scarf locked into Rock Slide, and he's going to go to Chandelure, so I get off the Toxic on Chandelure. That's great. I can probably stall that thing out later, and the best thing to stall out with is my Mantike. Now, Mantike is a special monster. It has base 120 special defense, which is just crazy for an unevolved poke. Give it Eviolite and it hits 500 Spec D, over 500, which is why it takes that Psychic so very, very nicely. Now, I know he probably can't do anything to me with his Chandelure. He seems to be choiced in some way, and therefore I'm going to set up a sub of my own as he switches to Blastoise, and this is just beautiful. This is something I didn't realise, actually. He didn't know I had Water Absorb, so he hits me with the Surf, and in fact, Water Absorb works if you're behind a sub. That's something I learned from this game. Very interesting. Didn't know before. Now, there's not much I can do to hit Blastoise. The only thing I can go for is a Scald and hope for the burn. And for the first time in my life, Scald actually burns, which is fantastic. That's phenomenal for me. So, in comes Lucario. I guess he brought it in predicting me to just, I don't even know, do a random move, I guess, because I don't know what his thought process was there. But at this point, with the Rain Boost, Scald from Mantike is going to be able to 2-hit KO him. That Life Orb damage that he takes is definitely going to be to my benefit because it's a clean 2-hit KO. I don't have any worries about min-max damage, and down goes Lucario. So now that I don't have a sub up, he's easily going to be able to bring in Darmanitan and go for the obvious Rock Slide. It is as obvious as the day I was born, and therefore I'm going to go to Coughing to take it extremely well. So Coughing, in fact, it's at 217 and it goes down to 151. That's going to be a little bit important later on. So that's approximately what 70, 80 damage, 80 damage, 70 damage, approximately 70 damage. So in comes Chandelure. And obviously, Psychic he has already shown me, so I don't want to stay in and take one. So he's just going to make the safe play, go for it, and Mantike's going to come in, and he's going to crit me. So even that, you know, a crit really didn't do too much to me, but it's not nice to take a crit. I don't really like doing it. But, you know, it happens sometimes, and that is life. But I'm going to speed this part up just as quick as I can, because all this is really is me setting up an Aqua Ring with my substitute up, and him basically not being able to do anything to me. He's going to hit me with a Rapid Spin 3 times, and there's nothing that his Blastoise can do. It's an interesting set he's running. The only issue with it is that his only offensive move besides Rapid Spin is Surf, and therefore when he's up against a Water Absorber, he's really not going to be able to do anything to touch it. And so, you know, I guess his substitute is there for subbing down to a Torrent boost, but when you are burned with a sub, there is really no hope for you, and unfortunately he's going to go down. So Mantike manages to stall out the Blastoise after multiple turns of Scalding and breaking subs and burn helping him. But in comes the Darmanitan, and surprisingly, really surprisingly, he manages to take out the sub with a U-turn. I guess that Rapid Spin damage racked up a bit, but it was 3 Rapid Spins, which does like -2 damage, so I wasn't too sure about that and how that worked out. But in any case, he's going to bring in his T-Tar now, completely to my disadvantage. I'm going to lose the Rain Boost from Scald. I don't have a substitute up, and I have nothing to hit him with. Scald is doing pretty much nothing to him, so the best thing for me to do is to go to my Coughing and hopefully take a hit from him. Now he goes for the Crunch, and I'm thinking, okay, he may be Scarfed, and therefore if he is Scarfed, he's going to be locked into Crunch, and therefore I can probably live another one. And look at this, Coughing lives on 13, gets off a Pain Split, and brings all his health back up to 197. That, my friends, is just delicious. That's just like a beautiful full English breakfast laid out on a plate at 11 AM. That's what that's like. So I'm still under the impression that he is Scarfed. So the thing is, he's going to go for the Crunch again, and he's doing a good job of tricking me here. I get the Will-O-Wisp off, but thinking that he's Scarfed, I'm going to go for the Torment, because if I go for the Torment, it means that he'll have to struggle and won't be able to use another move. But he actually reveals here that he is not Scarfed. He has Stealth Rock. He goes for it, and my Torment is pretty much in vain because I'm I'm not going to be able to do anything to bite back against him. So at this point I know that I cannot live another, well I can live another crunch, but it's to my disadvantage to pain split because I won't get as much health back, and I'll pretty much be left at the same amount after Sandstorm and everything. So I'm going to go to Scyther, Nitude as death fodder. I really didn't know what he was going to use, but he uses Fire Blast, so it kind of Crunch, Fire Blast, Stealth Rock. Interesting T-Tar set, sort of semi-mixed, semi-boa type thing, but I guess without the sub punch, which is interesting, kind of cool. So at this point, I need Politoed to kill a T-Tar. I want to have Rain Up. Having Rain Up is like one of the most necessary things for me right at this moment. So I do have Thunderous still left, so I want Thunderous to abuse the rain later on. So here comes Chandelure. I know it's gonna outspeed me and kill me with a whatever hit it wants to. Shadow Ball, whatever, that's fine by me. Gonna lock itself into the Shadow Ball, and at this point, obviously, Mantike can easily come in and take any type of Shadow Ball from him, and you know, he's not gonna be able to stand up to a rain boosted Scald. Live on 10 like a monster. What did I tell you about Mantike? Just a boss. So at this point I want Mantike to live it out. I want Mantike to stay alive. I do not want it to die. The only issue is his last is a Scarfed Daruma. Now he's going to lock himself into Rock Slide. Rock Slide will kill Salamence when it comes in. I do get the Intimidate. That's kind of one of my things I'm hoping will help me win this, and I live Stealth Rock damage. That Intimidate is so very useful, and you will see why in a second. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down here just to explain what the situation is. Thunderous will die to a Rock Slide. He is Scarfed. He will outspeed me. I cannot go to Thunderous. I have to go to a Coughing. Now, Coughing could have possibly be able to live a Rock Slide. It depends on the Intimidate, how much attack it lowers, and as you can see, my Coughing's going to go down to 53 HP, so I need to live a Rock Slide, get off a Torment, and if I get off a Torment, then on the appointed turn, I will be able to bring in Thunderous and he will struggle. So what happens? I freaking dodge the Rock Slide. I dodge the Rock Slide, I get the Torment off. Now, what does this mean? This means that on this turn, he has to struggle. So, he's going to struggle, he's not going to kill the Coughing, and I'm going to go down to, what, around 20 HP. So, my plan here is to Toxic him, and I wasn't sure if Torment was going to still work if Coughing died, so I needed that Toxic on him just to wear him down at the very end of the game, but it misses, so this is getting really close now. He manages to get the Rock Slide this time, he doesn't miss, and he hits the Coughing and it dies. So this is the closing point. This is where I have to see whether Torment works after the thing has died or not, and I'm not sure because I've never done it before. So I bring in Volt Bro. If Torment does still work, then I've got this. He's going to struggle and I'm going to win. If it does not still work, then he's going to Rock Slide and I'm going to lose. But he struggles, so frickin' hell, Torment is going to win me the game after Coughing manages to land it on that Darmanitan. That was one hell of a match. What a close ending there. I still had Mantike left on 10 HP, but obviously that thing would have died to Stealth Rock. Coughing was dead, and Thunderous just cleans it up at the end, so makes it a nice 2-0 victory. Really good match. Great fun. Most fun match I've had in a long time, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I try and bring you the best matches that I can onto the Mosh Pit, so hopefully if you did enjoy this game, I have multiple more on my channel. You can go check that out, link will be in the description. Leave this video a like if you thoroughly enjoyed it, and enjoyed the fact that Coughing just rules, people, man. He rules the frickin' world. So there you go, that is it. Otherwise, I will catch you guys next time on PMP, hopefully pretty soon. See you later, guys.